All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to G.S.R. Gonzo'S Sports Room. Wednesday, July 20th. Man, today's been a long day. But got another big guest tonight. Jonathan Mathis is back with us. How you doing, Jonathan?
What up, man? What up? Hey, you know what? It's always, like I always say, it's always a pleasure to be on this show. I'm always fired up before this show. I was just walking around the room, so fired up for this show because I know it's gonna be another great show as always with you, Chris. How you doing tonight, man?
Doing good. I can't wait till tomorrow. I'm not going to lie. I'm ready for baseball to be back. I've missed it the last couple. Well, today because you did have the All-Star game last night, but
right,
the All-Star game still is. It's just not the same as the regular season.
No, but it's not because it's an exhibition game, But hey, you know what? I turned this night into a movie night. I took the opportunity to make this all about movies while I can because I know once sports comes back, that's going to captivate my attention and it's going to take my time away from watching movies. So I took advantage of tonight, being that this is a slow night in sports, that there's really nothing going on, that I would watch some movies, and that's what I've been doing and enjoying a cooler California day because it's been miserable here. It's been so hot. And today is a little cooler, although we have a little bit of humidity.
So it's supposed to get hotter here, especially this weekend. And we're doing an outdoor show on Saturday.
Oh, that's nice.
We're streaming a live pro wrestling event at a fair. And I guess it's supposed to be 96 degrees here on Saturday. It's like,
Ooh, and I know for you guys, that must be unpleasant at times because the heat is dry, right? Being in Minneapolis.
Or I'm in Indiana. It's actually it gets real humid.
Yeah. Right. It's sticky and muggy and all that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know that feeling. I've been to Texas, so I can relate. In some way, I'm a California dude. Out here, we're kind of spoiled. We don't get that miserable type dry heat all the time because we live near the beach cities. So we feel some type of breeze, but it's still, even then, it's still kind of hot, What's up, Dustin?
That's why you have high school baseball. Well, I wish high school baseball was playing around here, but here in Indiana, high school baseball is already over for the season. They're getting ramped up for football.
Well, Dustin's a big time sports fan because he likes everything. He watches everything. So I guess no night is ever an off night for him.
I watch about everything. I don't watch a lot of soccer.
Yeah.
Other than that, I watch about most of everything else, but I haven't watched much soccer. And
I don't understand the intricacies of the game.
That's the problem. I watch it and I don't understand fully what's going on. So I think it makes it a little harder for me, but I've just never got into watching it on TV. Now I think going to like a live match, I think that'd be awesome because the
Oh,
crowds
that'd be cool.
atmosphere seems awesome.
That'd be cool. It'd be like going to a hockey game.
Yeah, but watching it on TV is just I don't know. It just
right.
it don't catch on with me like other
Right.
sports does.
Oh, right.
But,
Once you get into the setting and you're with all the fans, it brings on a different vibe, and you probably would enjoy it more actually being in the stands with the people, That'd be pretty cool. I would like to experience a soccer game, and we got two MLS teams out here. We got the Galaxy, and we got that new team, LAFC.
We have a team in Indianapolis. I need to go to a live soccer. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be fun. You'll probably enjoy it, and the wild fans going nuts.
Live Justin says live soccer matches are nuts. I'm dead serious. The best sports environment you can have.
Yeah,
especially for World Cup games. I'll bet your World Cup games are crazy.
I believe it. Well, soccer is one of the most popular sports played throughout the world, right? Yeah. It's a global sport. So, I mean, every single country plays soccer. Not every country plays American football. We're the only place that play American football. But you go everywhere around the world, and soccer is played everywhere. It's greatly influenced, by those who participate in soccer, and everyone throughout the world plays the game of soccer. So there's some type of connection, for people when it comes to soccer.
Yeah, and also, what'd you think about the All-Star game last night?
You know what? I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I was, enjoying my sunflower seeds, and I'm not really the guy who likes sunflower seeds, but it was a tradition because my dad would, have a bag of sunflower seeds, and he would have his Miller Lite, and he would watch the All-Star game. So I was, carrying on that tradition last night. And it was a great game, Now it's an exhibition game. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't count. But there was plenty of excitement. And for one, the game was played in Los Angeles. It was played on the biggest stage, in Hollywood. And it was beautiful that our city was able to experience this, that for the first time in 42 years, we hosted this great event, the Midsummer Classic. So it may never come back in my lifetime. This for a lot of people, this was a once in a lifetime opportunity. A lot of people paid for tickets to attend the game, to be there, and it wasn't a disappointment at all. They got to see a very good game. The final score was 3-2. John Carlos Stanton put on a show. He hit a home run that put the American League on the scoreboard. It tied the game 2-2 apiece. And then you follow that up with Byron Buxton, a guy who's been hampered by injuries throughout his career, was finally in the All-Star game. He appeared in the All-Star game and has the biggest hit in the All-Star game, in my opinion. In my opinion, you could have split the MVP trophy.
I was going to say, I thought Buxton might get the MVP just because his was the go-ahead home run.
Right. But you gotta keep this in mind too. Stanton is a Yankee. Yep. He's a more popular player. People know who he is. A lot of people don't know much about Buxton because Buxton plays for a team in a smaller market. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. But for those who don't know, this is a guy who's a great defensive outfielder. This is a guy who's extremely athletic. We've seen that. It's been on display when he is healthy. And to me, he's one of the best center fielders out there. It's just that, again, this guy's seasons have been derailed by injury. And, he put on the show last night as well. He had the go-ahead home run that ended up resulting in a win for the American League, So, in all honesty, this could have gone either way, right? Buxton could have won it. We all saw Stanton won it, but you could have split this trophy in half. They could have been co MVPs,
Well,
because both of their home runs were that important.
yeah, and I'll tell you what, with the way the game started, it looked like the National League. There might be National League's night to finally win an All Star game for a while because they jumped out, got 2 runs in that first inning. I was like,
Yeah,
and
they
then,
jumped out
then
early.
after that, the American League pitchers just shut them down. They went, uh, they retired 20 straight batters.
Yeah,
American League
they
pitchers did
did.
at one point in that game, and
And I just felt this was like an old school type All Star game because pitching dominated.
yeah, I love the
Pitching
uniforms too. The
oh,
uniforms I thought they were awesome.
they were
Had
nice.
that kind of old school feel to them. Then you had
They were drip. They were drip.
I think what's awesome as well was miking up the players, like getting to listen to
Yes.
Severino, I think it was that was on the pitching mound,
Yeah.
and it had him mic'd up, and he was talking, basically telling the announcers what pitch he was throwing and stuff. Dude, I thought it was awesome.
And he was congratulating everyone that would come to home plate to bat. Yeah, that was a cool experience. I think that's a great feature that they added to the All Star game. It not only gives us an inside on what pitch is coming, but we also get to see these guys' personalities.
Yeah,
We get to see the human side of the player. So that's what's so great about that. I really, that really kept me engaged in the game. I think for the casual fan, that educated them more about the player and more about the game. Because if you don't know too much about a pitcher and what pitches they are throwing, you did yesterday. You learned more about the pitcher. You learned more about his arsenal. What pitches he liked to use in the strike zone, how he pounds the strike zone, and I was enjoying a conversation with Nestor Cortez,
yeah,
um, and then the conversation with Alec Manoa.
yeah.
It was just great to listen to those guys have a conversation. We heard the whole conversation. That was so cool. And I think they should do that more, not just in All Star games, but in regular
I
games
was getting
too.
ready to say I
I
think they
think,
should do it in
right.
regular season, even
Might up
even
the
if you don't do
players.
the pitchers, even if you don't
Right.
do a pitcher, do first baseman or an outfielder or somebody like that.
Because that's a good strategy to use to brand your league. That's a great way to market your players.
Which
Right,
baseball does a terrible job of.
right, and that's a creative way because what other league mics up their players during the game? I mean, we hear in the NBA, and we see NBA players mic'd up, but they're mic'd up not during the game. They're mic'd up in between commercial breaks or during halftime. You hear them talking through the mic and communicating with teammates or the referees or whatever. But baseball can try something different. They can mic them up during the game, and we could listen to them talk while they're on the mound.
Yeah, like I said, even if they won't do it to the pitchers, do it to the other position players. Like earlier in the year, they done it for a game. I forget what game it was, and they had Joey Votto mic'd up for a while. And dude, he was hilarious. And I think that, like you said, gives fans a chance to kind of see more of the personal side of
Right,
some of the players, some of their personalities. Uh,
right.
I think it'd be a good thing. Dustin, I don't live in Indianapolis, but it still ain't no excuse. I only live like 30 minutes from Indianapolis or 30, 40 minutes. Well, about 45 minutes. I haven't made it to an Indy 11 game yet. I want to get down there to one. Uh, I do go to watch the Indianapolis Indians a lot, the Fort Wayne Tin Caps, some of the minor league baseball around here. Because see, here in Indiana, we don't have a major league baseball team, but
Right.
there's quite a few minor league teams around. We got a triple A team there in Indianapolis. We got a 1A team in Fort Wayne. That's within like an hour and 15 minutes. So I can go watch a lot of minor league baseball, and I can watch college baseball with Ball State being right here. And Ball State has pretty good baseball program, especially for like a MAC school.
That's cool. That's really cool.
And dude, they don't. And this is what's crazy about Ball State. You can get into the baseball games for free. They don't even charge you to go to the games to watch.
Oh, what? That's the kind of game I'm looking for. Free admission. Nice.
Yeah, Damien, I agree that it would help the WNBA to do that
Yeah,
as well to mic up some of their
it's
players more.
another great way to market your league.
And WNBA, I don't know, they don't market it enough for one, but they also, I think if they made some changes to the schedule, I think they need to play a few more games.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, there's just something.
To me, women's basketball is entertaining.
Oh, I like watching it. I watched NBA quite a bit. Started watching it quite a bit this year. That's why I think they only play like 35 games or something. I think you could up that to like
basketball. It's
just
a little bit playing basketball. That's all.
They just don't market it as well. And just like the women's college basketball, the stupidest thing you can do is have it the same time as the men, and they have it the same time as the men every year.
Right.
Why? Why not do it the next week later? And then the women, all the focus will be on the women's tournament. Your ratings are going to go up.
Right.
That tournament will start growing.
Right. Yeah, that's true. It starts growing. They'll start a week earlier or a week later.
Might be I think a week earlier.
A week earlier, yeah. I think so too.
But yeah, but you know what I mean? They shouldn't run them during the same time like that, because
that's not going to help, because most people are going to tune into the men's tournament.
Oh yeah, Victory Field is a real nice minor league diamond. We love going there, man. You can pay $15 and sit basically right behind home plate, and watch some good baseball. I mean, AAA, it's good ball.
Yeah, that's cheaper.
They're a minor league team for the
major league games. That's cheaper than Dodger tickets.
Oh yeah, they're a minor league team for the Pirates.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we got to see some of the Pirates players like that, Hayes and some of them guys. We got to see them play in the minor leagues. Me and Dad, because we go to Indy and watch them.
That's so cool. Yeah, I've never seen a minor league baseball game. I gotta get to one when I can. That'd be cool. I could mark that off my list. Check.
75 baseball stadiums and counting. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get to as many of the major league stadiums I can go to.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list as well. I would like to travel more, go to more sporting events, see more games, at different venues throughout the majors.
But no, all in all, I thought the All-Star game this year with the home run derby and then the game last night, I thought it was pretty good. I think baseball has about the best All-Star game out of any of the sports. Even though it's not. I mean, it's not the most competitive, but they still compete.
Yeah, they compete better.
They were competing last night. It was a close game. It was a good game to watch.
Yeah, it is the best All-Star game in all sports, I think. Still, a lot of people are gonna tell you that the NBA All-Star weekend is more exciting than MLB, only because this younger generation finds baseball to be very slow. And it's just not compelling to them. It doesn't catch their attention. It's something that doesn't really interest them. So they're gonna tell you it's the NBA All-Star weekend, which is another exciting event as well, because then the Saturday night events are always cool.
Well, the NBA has to do something about the dunk contest. The dunk contest became a joke.
Yeah, it's an absolute joke now. All of those dunks now are just what's the word for it? Cheesy, corny. It's something.
The problem is
before
none of the big stars do it anymore.
Before, what is that?
No, the problem is none of the big stars compete in it anymore.
And you got all these role players, and sometimes you got people competing in that event that you never really heard of. Like okay, who's this participant? Who's this guy competing in the dunk contest? Who is he? I never heard of him. So yeah, that's one reason why it's not as fun as it used to be. And then another reason, everyone's doing the same damn dunk. No one's as creative as they used to be. You got to kind of reinvent things. That's the whole uh, point of you participating in the dunk contest. You got to be a creator. You got to come up with something that no one else has done before. You got to, invent some new tricks and do some incredible things in the air. And that's what we don't get in the dunk contest anymore.
Yeah, and I do like that they've changed the All-Star game format some. That's helped the All-Star game be better, especially in the fourth quarter. They're competing more.
Yeah.
Football, they might as well just do away with the Pro Bowl now. It's not.
Oh, the Pro Bowl is worse than the NBA. The NBA events. The Pro Bowl needs to be put out of its misery. Last time I watched the game, I fell asleep. I literally fell asleep. Yeah, my body was tired that day. I was completely exhausted, but still, watching that game made it a lot worse. And
see,
I fell asleep.
See, I think your point about baseball, about this generation thinks it's slow. There is something to that, but also the other problem is young people watch baseball, but they watch it. They go to the games live. They're not going to sit down and watch it on TV because on TV it is too slow. But if you go to like the major league game, you see a lot of the younger generation there live, but you're not getting that younger generation to sit down in one spot at home and watch it.
Right.
3.5, 4 hours.
And when you're there, doesn't it feel like the games go by a lot quicker?
Yeah.
As opposed to watching it on TV. TV, it feels like, oh my God, it feels like it's such a long night. But then when you're actually at Dodger Stadium, for example,
oh yeah,
the innings go by so quick, and then before you know it, you're ready to go home. The game is over.
And I think it feels like that because when you're there, even between innings, there's always something going on.
Yes.
Where when you're sitting at home, you're in between innings, you're like, oh no. Another commercial. When do we get back to the game?
Yeah, another Carl Jr. commercial advertising a new burger, or another Corona commercial, or another Arco commercial with the Hawaiian bobblehead girl, moving to the side and everything. Yeah, I know.
My minor league trip next year. I might just have to do that, Dustin. Might have to do that. Dustin says, just do away with all-star games and strictly do skill competitions and celebrity games.
Yeah, be careful of having Bad Bunny as one of the participants in the celebrity game, because if you have him playing in that game, the chances are a girl might run onto the field, like you saw. Some crazy girl who was madly obsessed with Bad Bunny literally jumped out of her seat and ran onto the field and got arrested at Dodger Stadium.
I didn't see it, but I heard about it. I think it was I think Frankie was talking about it. I think Frankie brought it up. But I didn't see it, but I heard about it. I missed that celebrity softball game this year. I usually watch some of it just because you could see some of the older players and stuff, and it's nice to see.
It too. I didn't see it. I missed the ESPYs tonight too as well. I forgot that was even going on.
I haven't watched the ESPYs in a while.
A lot of people say they don't anymore because they say it's just like the Oscars and the Grammys.
I think last time I watched the beginning when Peyton Manning was hosting it.
Oh yeah, that's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time I watched it, Lance Armstrong hosted
it. That's been even longer.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
How much do you think the Yankees screwed up not getting to a contract settled with the judge during the offseason like he was wanting? Because the way he's playing this year, they just cost themselves a bunch of money.
You think so?
I do. You don't think they cost yourself money? Because now he's going to be asking for even more than what he was, especially if he ends up MVP this year.
Yeah, yeah, you do got a good point there. Um, they're gonna have to offer him a hefty penny for sure, especially with the season that he's having. But as we all know, Chris, the Yankees they don't mind spending, and they would do everything they can to their power to keep Aaron Judge in pinstripes.
No, I believe that, but I think they should if they were went ahead and got it done before this season, like
Right.
they were trying when they were within talks. I think
Yeah.
it saved them some money in the long run because now it's
Right.
going to cost them even more to sign him.
Oh yeah, it's gonna cost them even more. But you think the Yankees are gonna let him get away?
Oh
You know,
no, they're not.
they're gonna offer him the highest paid contract in Major League Baseball,
Especially if he stays healthy the second half of the season.
especially if he stays healthy. But you're running a risk, even beyond this season, if you do pay him, uh, you know, uh, uh, millions and millions of dollars, because he has had a history of injuries. So that has to be a bit of a concern, but you're gonna have to pay him because he's creating a market for himself. He has definitely been your key component on offense, and we talked about that. And he's a big bat in your lineup. Um,
Yeah,
he's also a fan favorite in New York. He got his own section in right field, the judge's chamber. So that tells you a lot about him as well, how much the fans really like him, and he has endeared himself to that city and to that fan base. And so the fans are going to want him to stay. The Yankees are going to do everything to make sure he stays. A deal's going to get done, but yes, they could have saved a lot of money had they got this deal done much sooner.
yeah, I agree. I was surprised when they didn't get it done, and I think some of their hesitation it was some of the injuries that judges
Right.
had. I
Yeah.
think that was some of their hesitation, but they took that chance to see if he was going to be healthy this year, and so far he's proven that he can stay healthy, and he's playing at a level that is going, like you say, he's going to get paid.
He's going to get paid, and the Yankees are going to keep him there because he's a vital piece to what the team is trying to accomplish, and that is win a World Series championship.
Um, let's talk a little college football here. Oh, did you
Hit
see Kirby Smart's comments about the NIL?
Did he say something as crazy as Nick Saban?
No, 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 no. He said that he likes the NIL, but he says he thinks it's being used wrong by schools using it as a recruiting tool. That's not what it was meant to be. It's meant to for teams after they choose a school to be able to get money off their name and likeness, doing autographs and sponsors and stuff like that. He's just afraid that what he was saying is the way it's being used now as a recruiting tool. Are all these colleges going to be able to keep up to the commitment that they make? Say they make a commitment to a player for 4 or 5 years on an NIL deal, and that player leaves or whatever. Or not leaves, but are they going to stay committed to that player for the whole time and fulfill that the money that they're supposed to get? He just says he don't know if it's sustainable that way. That he thinks there just needs to be some regulations where it's not used as a recruiting tool. To me, most of that's just some of these bigger name coaches not liking that. It's going to even out the playing field some. Uh, I mean, I don't see these colleges getting themselves in financial trouble because all the boosters and stuff. The boosters are going to take care of most of that. So I understand what he's saying to a point, but also it's going to be hard to regulate every every NIL deal in college.
Well, there's a lot of players using this money to help with other things. I heard there's one player using this money to help pay for his father's dialysis treatment.
Yeah.
I heard there's another player who's using this money to help, you know, help his mom fight cancer. So I mean, it's resources for people who really can't, benefit financially. I think this is a good thing. Again, this stuff has pros and cons to it. There's always going to be a good and a bad to it, and then there's going to be players that take advantage of it, and there's going to be schools that as well take advantage of it because they know they can use it as a recruiting tool. You know, as a way to you know help their team build a better program.
Yeah,
You know,
what I think it's going to do, it's going to bring more parity to
to the
college
game.
football,
Right,
which is a
right.
good thing because
More competitive balance.
I
Right.
think it's going to take 4 or 5 years before you see the change. Just because it has to cycle like anything else. It takes, a couple of years before you're going to
Yep,
see how it's going to go. But I think it's going to really help college football because it's going to
it
give.
will.
There's going to be more teams that have a chance
Right.
to compete than
And
what you
college
did
football,
before. And I
college
agree.
athletics.
And I agree with what Dustin's saying that
Yeah.
Smart's dead wrong because there's so much money that's made by college football. It's
Right.
crazy.
Right. And college athletics is the driving force of a university.
And
It,
if you start getting more closer games, not all the blowouts, it's just
right.
going to more. It's going to draw more people to it,
Right. It generate and these college athletics generates a lot of money for universities. You
especially
know,
college football.
right. Right. And that's what and they should thank these student athletes cuz they are the ones bringing money to the institution. So I'm with you, Chris. I think it's definitely going to help college football. Um, I think there's a lot of positives to it. I think a lot of kids can benefit from it, especially kids who come from poverty stricken backgrounds, and don't really have a lot of finances or that financial stability. uh, this is a blessing to a lot of families who really need financial help. So I like it. I think it's great for college football. It's great for college athletics.
Yes, I agree. Uh, do you think that Georgia can repeat as national champions? They lost 7 of their defensive starters to the NFL. They basically have their whole offense back. They have their quarterback back on that super senior season where you get an extra season because of the COVID stuff. So he came back to try to repeat as national champion after last year. But man, using 7 starters on your on your defense to the NFL. I know that they with their recruiting, they're deep at a lot of positions. So you're going to get they probably have a 4 or 5 star guy coming in at a lot of those positions, but you still don't know if them guys are going to be because I think 5 of them went in the first round. So are you you don't know if you're going to have 5 of them pan out to be first round NFL players. So I think their defense could take maybe a little bit of a step back. So that would be what my worry would be about the Georgia team trying to trying to repeat this season.
Yeah, well, defense was their foundation, right? They relied heavily on their defense. The defense was their strength, right? Uh, that's how they were able to win a lot of football games. Their offense did their thing too. I don't want to take away anything from Bennett. I think he was an excellent quarterback. People had their doubts about him, but then, he came through for his team when they needed him the most, particularly in the national championship game a year ago. But losing 7 players, that's that's a lot. And I mean, when you lose that many players who had an impact, particularly on your defense, it's tough to repeat. It's tough to repeat with if those 7 guys return.
Yeah.
And losing those 7 guys make it twice as hard to repeat. And you're playing in the powerhouse conference. You're playing the SEC, where schools have gotten better and schools can repeat. But Dustin here says they can repeat. Um, that's
But he
true.
said they can, but he don't think they will. Because
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Bama is still loaded, yes, and Bryce Young is still around, and then you have OSU is loaded. Yes, that's true. Clemson will most likely bounce back. I do agree with all that. So yeah, it'll be definitely tough for Georgia to run it back.
yeah, and in college, when you lose that much on defense, I think it takes it just a little bit. I don't know. It takes a little bit longer than what it does like in the NFL for the
Right,
new players to get acclimated.
right.
But no, I think this college season is going to be fun though, because like you said, you have them schools. And
Oh yeah,
that's not counting Notre Dame. What they're going to do? What they're going to do? They're usually in the mix somehow.
yeah.
Uh, US, I think USC is going to see an improvement. It might take a couple years, but with the
With Lincoln Riley.
with Lincoln Riley going over there, I think
Yeah,
that's going to make a big difference. So,
I was so happy when uh, they made the announcement that they were hiring him as the next head coach. Because if there's one guy who could turn it around, it's him.
yeah,
And he's not a yes man. For once, USC hired someone who can really, you know, revive this program. But they're gonna have to give him time, and they're gonna have to let him do his thing, and I think they will because Lincoln Riley's not a yes man.
no,
And most
yeah,
of his recruits decommitted from Oklahoma
yeah.
and have committed to USC. So I mean, USC is going to be really, really good.
Texas A&M had a good recruiting class.
They did.
I mean, hell, so good. Nick Saban almost had a heart attack.
Yeah, we heard his ridiculous comments, right? His ignorant, um,
Well, it's
arrogant.
not fair. They're buying players. You've been doing it for years, Saban. Don't let
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So I mean, his remarks was hypocritical, you know, and how dare you call out another university uh, for doing basically the same thing you did.
Yeah, but now
Yeah,
it's legal.
right.
It's
Right.
legal for them to do
Oh,
it
he's
now.
just mad because he didn't have the top recruiting class. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it was.
That's all it is.
But it's going to make it harder for these coaches to. It's going to make it harder for, like, say, Alabama, for example, and even like Georgia, some of these top schools to have 4 or 5 star, like six to be six deep with 4 or 5 star players at every position.
Yeah,
Because now some of these players will go to other colleges because they can make some money and get a chance to play still. So I think in 4 to 5 years you're really going to see some other teams competing than just the same old 3 or 4 or old 4 or 5. That's all the time.
right. Yeah, it's gonna be more competitive. Like you said, it opens the competitive field, and gives other colleges and teams an opportunity to compete. You know, so it's going college football is always fun to watch. A lot of people prefer the NFL because they say it's not as many teams like it is in college. You got a lot of conferences, but pretty soon, the way we're seeing all this realignment, there's only going to be two major conferences.
Yeah, that's the way it's definitely looking.
Yep.
Big Ten needs to change their name. They're up to 16 schools now.
Big
Well,
16. Big 20, maybe. You
yeah.
could get four more. You never know.
Oh no, it wouldn't surprise me.
When you think about the logistics and, you know, um, teams having to adapt to playing in colder climate, and it's a lot, with these changes. It's going to be a lot for most of these kids. having to play in different environments, having to face different teams. You know,
Yeah. I mean, I agree with what Dustin just said. I think that's what we're headed toward. Whether there's not going to be no conferences. I think that's what college football is heading toward. I'd like to see it just stay the two big super conferences like they're getting to now, but I think eventually within the next few years there isn't going to be no conferences.
what is there going to be? Divisions?
No, they'll just basically make the schedules and play which colleges they want to play, and I think the conferences are going to start. Just you see them, they're breaking up now, and you're going to get to the two, and then all your smaller schools are basically then you're not are not powerhouses. They're going to get left out.
It's
You
a
know,
lot to process. It's going to be a
it's
lot.
going to be interesting to see how it goes.
It really is. I'm anxious to see how it is 5 years from now.
Damien, I can't wait to see Deion Sanders shut Nick Saban ass up.
Oh yeah, and then that's another thing. Then he was so disrespectful to Deion Sanders. You know, the same guy that helped you make money
Well,
when you
not
did
just
a
Deion.
commercial with him.
Well, not just Deion. Fisher too. I mean, Fisher
Yeah.
has been on your coaching staff,
Yep. And
and you straight call
he
him
calls
out.
out Jimbo Fisher, humiliates him. And I mean, you have to understand why Jimbo Fisher was furious and why he fired back the way he did. Because I mean that was just a very classless move by Nick Saban. You know, it makes you look like a narcissist. Narcissist. You know,
Yeah.
it really does.
Then in the NFL today, the 49ers give Jimmy G permission to seek a trade. Uh, I think 49ers are making a mistake here. I don't see. I mean, they haven't showed us anything telling us that Trey Lance is ready. They must believe that, but I just don't understand it. You look at the 49ers record when Jimmy G plays, and the 49ers record when he hasn't played. When he plays, they win. I mean, I think he gets shit on so much by people. I don't understand why. He's not a terrible quarterback. Now, is he a great quarterback?
No.
No, but is he a guy that you can win with? I mean, yes, he's took. I mean, he's been this took the 49ers to a Super Bowl that they should have won. Got him to the NFC Championship game last year. Was right there in that game. So you know, what I mean, he's getting you where you want to be. You just haven't been able to get that win. And if it wasn't for a phantom pass interference call, offensive pass interference call on George Kittle in that Super Bowl, Jimmy G might have had a Super Bowl ring that year starting for the 49ers. That was a terrible offensive pass interference call right before the half. So I think they're making a mistake letting him go, especially I don't know. I'm not sold on Lance. I thought they moved up and overdrafted him myself. Uh, But hey, I'd be happy with that. Dustin, you send Jimmy G to Indy, I'd be happy with that. But I don't know. To me, I think the 49ers are making a mistake.
Well, obviously they're willing to move on from Jimmy G. Is it a mistake? It could be a mistake. Could it be a blessing in disguise down the road? Maybe it could. We don't know. But Jimmy G has shown that he can help guide teams to wins, given the circumstances. Um, we've seen it. To me, he's more of the game managing type quarterback. He does enough to help his team get by, but a quarterback is better than no quarterback. And you're gonna need someone to play quarterback. Who are you turning to for your quarterback? Is it Lance? Is it Trey Lance? Or are you gonna look on the market for another quarterback? What's your plan? That's what I want to know from the 49ers. What is your plan moving forward if you're gonna give up on Jimmy G? Are you willing, to finally give Trey Lance a shot? You drafted him with your top pick, your number 2 overall pick in the draft. So, is this his era? Is this his chance to finally shine? Do you have that much confidence in him that he can be that guy? Is that why you're willing to suddenly trade Jimmy G? I mean, that's the only reason I would think they're
Oh yeah,
moving on
that's
from.
the way they're going. Is I believe with Lance as a starter, and I'm not saying Lance won't be good. I just we haven't seen enough of him because you didn't get to see him play much in college. Dustin, he thinks Lance is going to be, or he thinks Lance is the real deal. I'm not saying he's not the real deal. It's just we have to see more. And they get to see him all the time, so they must think he's ready. Because Shanahan, if this don't work, Shanahan and Lynch are going to be on the hot seat. If you know what I mean, if this backfires on him, so
Yeah.
you have to think that they've seen enough where they really think that he's ready, or they wouldn't have made this move. Because you make this move and you go the other way, then both of you could be sitting in the hot
Yeah,
seat.
they obviously think he's ready if they're willing to suddenly move on from Jimmy G.
It'd be interesting to see how it works out. I'm interested in seeing where Jimmy G ends up. Um, I wouldn't be mad if he went to the Colts. I just don't think it'll probably happen because I don't see the Colts trading for him this year since they already brought
He
in
has a
Matt
base.
Ryan.
Jimmy G has a base salary of $24.2 million this season.
Yeah, he says that he'll make a lethal trifecta with Debo and Mitchell. Yeah, hopefully they can get Debo to stay. It sounds like from what I was hearing, everybody thought he was going to be getting a big contract. I think he might have finally agreed to stay in San Francisco. That'd be big for the 49ers. Because I mean, he was their offense last year.
Debo?
Yeah.
Debo was everything for the 49ers last season. He was their quarterback. He was their running back. He was their special teams guy. He was their running back, their wide receiver. He was everything.
Yeah, Damien, I could see maybe the Seahawks trying to get Jimmy G. I was surprised they went more in the Baker Mayfield market as well.
The Browns are in talks. I heard.
Yeah, I heard that too. I also heard the Browns was in talks for maybe Cam Newton.
It seems like it's been a tumultuous offseason for him already. So, there's just a lot of talks about them moving him and finally moving on from him. But we'll see. We'll see what happened. I'm guessing that they will, move him at some point to make way for their second year quarterback Trey Lance. I mean, at least that's what they're hinting. I mean,
Justin said Debo agreed to stay if they go with Lance. Okay.
Okay, so maybe they're trying to, keep their best player happy. They're deciding that they're gonna move on from Jimmy G to appease their top player, which is understandable because losing Debo is like losing your whole team.
Yeah. Well, they've been talking about trading Garoppolo and stuff, and I think the only reason that they waited this long is because teams were wanting to wait till he was cleared. Now he's cleared to practice and everything from having that shoulder surgery. So I think that's what they were waiting on was for him being cleared and have a clear
Yeah,
bill of health. So then
waiting
they'd be
for
able
him
easier
to
to
be, waiting for him to be fully healthy.
yeah.
Can can get the 49ers will be able to get the proper value for him that they are looking
Yeah.
for in the deal. So yeah.
Let's talk a little bit of basketball real quick. James Harden signs a deal with the 76ers. Basically a 1 year deal. They're calling it a 2 year deal, but it's basically a 1 year deal with a player option for the other year. Uh, he's gonna make guaranteed what 33 million this year. Uh, took a pay cut. He said he wanted to win.
Said he wanted to win,
We'll see. So we'll see if this is a new James Harden. All of a sudden he cares about winning. Uh, we'll see. I mean, I guess from the talks, the Sixers told him they're expecting him to show up in shape and stuff. So
I
we'll see.
expect him to show up in shape now as well.
I mean,
because it seems like reality has finally set in, that he knows that his career is slowly and surely coming to an end. So now might be his final chance at possibly winning a championship. I think he realizes that. I think he, you know, is starving even more for a championship now, because he knows that this can be his last chance. So he was willing to, sacrifice millions of dollars to stay on a team that is built as a playoff contender. I'm not so sure if they're a championship team, not being in the same conference where you have to play against a Milwaukee Bucks team, against a Miami Heat team, you know,
Boston Celtic team.
against a great Boston Celtics team. You have other Eastern teams standing in your way. So it won't be very easy. And especially when you have Doc Rivers coaching the team. I'm not a fan of Doc Rivers because Doc Rivers has shown us time and time again that he can get a team there, but his teams can never come through in the playoffs. His teams always find a way to blow it. They collapse in the big moments. And we've seen that with him. We've seen him lead teams into the playoffs. And when they get to the playoffs, they take a commanding lead in the series. They go up 3-1. And then they blow it. They let the opposing team get back in the series. And that team ends up taking the series from them. We've seen that time and time again. So I'm not sold on Doc Rivers as their head coach. But I will applaud James Harden for taking less money because he says he wants to win now.
And now we gotta see if the Sixers can use that money and pick up somebody that's going to help him and Embiid to get that team to the next level. I was surprised that the Sixers didn't fire Rivers after this season. I really thought Rivers would be gone and they were going to hire D'Antoni with Morey being the GM. Worse hire. Oh no, I'm not saying it's a better hire, but with Morey being the GM, Morey loves James Harden and he loves some D'Antoni. So I thought he was going to go in that direction. So I was surprised that Rivers didn't get fired.
Houston Damian 2.0.
But Damian, to answer your question here is, yeah, it says it's a $69 million deal, but it's really all that's guaranteed is the $33 million that he's going to get paid this year. So instead of getting paid $46 million this year, he's taking $33 million this year. So that's what, a $13 million pay cut, and then he has the option for next year where he'd make like another $33 million or what. So or 35 million, whatever it is. So all their that's guaranteed is at 33 million this year. So that's how the 76ers saved money. They saved what? Yeah.
And he
Basically,
helped them save money.
yep. But it's, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of pieces they add to try to get to that next level. Because I think, like I said, I think if Harden plays well, I still think. I mean, they're a playoff team, but even with Harden, even if he was to get you're not going to get the Harden that was in Houston. He's just not that same guy.
No, and I
So,
talked about that before.
so when you get, why I think his cap is now, why his ceiling is now, if he plays to that, I think you're a solid playoff team, but I don't think they're a championship contender. Not without adding at least one more piece.
No, not in that Eastern Conference when you have 3 teams above you just better than you. And we named those 3 teams.
And it's looking more and more like the Lakers might be stuck with Westbrook.
Yeah. Well, we knew that once he decided to pick up his option. We kind of had that feeling that the Lakers would be stuck with Russell Westbrook going into next season. But I think it's going to be another down year for the Lakers. I think it's going to be another disaster once again.
You think they're going
to flu all over again? It's going to be a repeat of that last season.
You think they're going to do kind of like what Houston did with John Wall, just pay him to stay away?
I could see that happening because I think there's a disconnect. He has disconnected himself from the team, it seems.
So, yeah. I don't know. I guess him and the coach.
I don't see it working. I don't see it working.
I guess Westbrook and the coach have been having good meetings is why all the reports are coming out. But yeah, I don't see it working. I didn't think it was a good move when they made the move.
Right. Well, I try to stay hopeful, but
I agree, Dustin. I think that's
what happened last season. All hope is lost.
Yeah, I agree with Dustin. If they want to turn that team around, they would have to trade James and AD.
I say just burn down the house and start over. Start completely over.
Yeah, they just man. And it was partly LeBron's fault too. It's partly LeBron's fault because he was the one that wanted Westbrook.
Get some young talent and develop.
If they would have added the other players they were talking about adding instead of Westbrook, man, I think that team would have been. I think they'd be in a lot better shape.
Like Buddy Hill or somebody like that. Yep. Yeah. I don't know. It's tough to be a Laker fan right now too. And part of that is because look, we're spoiled. We're a spoiled fan base. We've had our fair share of championship wins. We've been called Title Town for winning championships. And, winning never gets old. It just never gets old. But then lately, the Lakers have been, a bottom feeder. And they just haven't played consistent basketball, even with the players they have on the team. So it's just tough to be a Laker fan.
Yeah, I mean, the LeBron era hasn't worked out. I don't think how they thought. Yeah, you did get a championship out of it. They're in the bubble. And I'm not going to take. Some people try to say it counts less. I'm not going to try to take nothing away from that. You got a championship, but then you break up your team and decide to go with Westbrook, and it just didn't make a lot.
Yeah,
it just didn't make no sense.
Alex Caruso, you could have kept Alex Caruso. You could have traded for Buddy Hill.
And you're in a lot better shape.
And you can still have money to spend. But
and now you're stuck with the Westbrook contract that nobody will take. So
yeah,
you got what is it like 47? Yeah, 47 million that he makes this year.
Yep.
Not a big bullet if you tell him not to come.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're paying a guy almost $50 million to sit at home. But when he's on the team and on the court, him and LeBron just their styles don't match together.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Anthony Davis that can't stay healthy. LeBron's been having some trouble staying healthy here
Yep.
the last couple of years. So I think they're going to be in trouble. Dustin says LeBron James will never win another title. I don't think he will either. I just this guy
You don't think he's getting number 5?
I don't think he's going to get number 5. He start he start he, he lasted so long without getting any injuries, and then now I
Yeah.
think it's the wear and tear on his body starting to catch up with him some.
Yeah.
He's going to start. It's going to be seeing him play full seasons is going to be rare now. I think you know. What I mean, I think he's going to have to tone down some of his minutes if he wants to be able to have anything left in the playoffs. And unfortunately, on the team he's on, if he can't do that right now because he has to do everything just for them to have a chance.
Right.
If he does win another title, I don't think it'll be with the Lakers.
Oh no, sure no. It definitely won't be with the Lakers.
Because I can see this being
This guy has made it clear that he wants to play with his son when his son does enter the league. So no, I don't see it happening with the Lakers. I think it'll be a while before the Lakers win another championship.
I think this could be the last season that LeBron's in LA.
Yeah, but you got your people that believe he's not going anywhere. They say that he will stay here because he wants to be in LA because of his, aspirations after basketball. But you can still have aspirations and play for another team and still live in LA.
Yeah, I mean, because if LeBron's not in LA and wants to get to LA, he can get to LA anytime he wants.
Oh yeah, he's a billionaire. Absolutely.
Make a phone call and have a freaking jet ready. I mean, so yeah, I just don't. I think I think he's going to end up back in Cleveland.
That's my thought as well. I really think he's going to end up back in Cleveland as well.
I could see him maybe closing his career out there close to home.
Yeah. He's definitely going back to Cleveland. He's going to do what Albert Pujols did. Yeah. Yep.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised. Do you watch much golf?
Some of it. I usually watch the major events, but I didn't watch the British Open at all. But I did read up on it a little bit.
Yeah, I watched some of it, but today
tell me about it.
Well, today we had 3 more players that left the PGA to go to that Live Golf.
Oh yeah. Well, they're saying they can make more money over there.
PGA is going. It's going to force PGA. It's going to be interesting to see what the PGA does because they're losing more and more, and eventually, I think they're going to have to loosen up on their ban of players because it's going to cost them because they're losing too many of the players that people know.
Yep. Yeah, they're losing big name players, high profile players.
Yeah, I mean, like today they lost Henrik Stenson, Kopech or Kokrak. I mean, Hal the Third.
Man.
I mean, they're all players that have wins in the PGA. But I mean, dude, I mean, hell, $4 million for first place and like 180,000 for last place. Like, I'd go over there too.
Hell yeah!
You show up to the golf course no matter. You show up to the golf course knowing no matter what, I'm making 180 grand a day. Like, sign me up. I saw that. I was like, yeah, I understand it, but I think and I know they have some of the players a filed thing with the Supreme Court or whatever about it, and they're investigating. But that PGA says they don't think they violated any antitrust laws or anything. But I think eventually they're going to loosen it up and let them players back in if they want to play, because it's what's going to be best for their league.
Right.
And I'm a firm believer that competition makes you better.
Right.
So I think in the long run this could be a good thing because it's going to make PGA pay their players better. It's going to make PGA try different things and stuff because now you have competition that people could go start watching.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have that competition, you can get complacent.
Right. Oh yeah, I totally agree with you.
I don't know if you're a pro wrestling fan, but just like in pro wrestling, when Vince bought WCWO, it changed wrestling because there wasn't no competition.
Right. And I remember that because I used to be into wrestling, and it makes things more competitive. And that's what this is about, that's what life's about. It's all competition, It's
Yeah.
all competition.
So in the long run, I think that I think they'll end up getting where them players will be able to play both and everything. But yeah, I don't know. I think PGA, if they're smart, they'll start letting these players play because you don't want to lose too many of your stars because then you could really put yourself in a bad situation.
Right. Right. And if you lose your stars, you're in trouble. You need your stars because they are the driving force.
Well, especially right now because
Association.
your biggest star Tiger isn't playing much anymore.
Right, and he's the face of golf. We all know that. He's the magnetic figure,
Oh,
even
yeah.
though he's not as relevant as he used to be, or even though he doesn't dominate golf like he used to, he is still the magnetic figure in golf because of his name. He's Tiger Woods because of what he has done in the past. Because of his sheer greatness, that will never elude him. We will always honor his legacy, because that's who Tiger is. But we know that he is not the same Tiger Woods that he once was. But we still consider him to be the face of golf.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of people. He's the whole reason they ever started watching golf.
Right.
I watch golf quite a bit, especially the majors. But I like what if they're especially like Sunday afternoon. If say like the games don't come on till the evening time, I'll watch golf during the day a
Yep.
lot. But I love watching the majors. Uh, I was not upset. I was hoping Tiger would at least make the cut. Get to see him play on the weekend. He just got off to a terrible start on Thursday. He just I think he's trying to come back too soon. I wish we waited till maybe like next year and then make your comeback. Let that leg get healed up all as much as it can.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see it bothers him trying to walk the courses, and that might be something that always bothers him. I mean,
yeah, since the accident, he's limping. You can see that limp. He almost lost his leg in that horrific car accident.
No, just for him to be back at the level he's at is amazing.
It's amazing, yeah, it really is.
I'd love to see him at least get one more major. I would, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't see that happening at this point. At least not right now.
Oh no, I think it might happen next year. Maybe he gets some more time and get that leg a little. Because there's times, man, that he's looked real good this year, but he just ain't been able to put together for 4 days in a row yet.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, you better watch out for his son. His son is coming, and his son's going to be good.
Yep.
I've seen some of the video of his son playing, dude. Little Charlie can play.
Maybe he'll be the next face of golf.
It could be. It wouldn't surprise me because seeing him play as a kid is like, man, this is better than I'll ever be at golf. Mm-hmm. I like playing golf, but I wasn't real good at it. It's hard to hit that damn ball where you want to. I can hit it, but I never know where it's going to go. It might go.
I've never played golf. I would like to.
It's one of the hardest sports I've ever tried Because like I said, it's hard to get that ball to go where you want it to go.
Right.
If anything's off on the timing of your swing, that ball's either going left or right. It's just everything everything has to be in rhythm. So it's fun, but
it's a strategy game.
Yep.
You know.
Well, was there anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about?
I think we got it all down tonight, man.
Oh, Daniel Jones signed a 3-year deal. Did you hear about that?
Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
No.
He signed a 3-year deal with the American Cornhole League. He's a professional cornhole player now.
Oh, what? That's probably why I didn't hear about it.
I guess he was tearing it up. He was tearing it up this summer in the minors. So the American Cornhole League signed him to a 3-year deal.
Well, sometimes we have other things that we like too.
So I guess
we pick up a hobby and we get good at it and we want to continue on with it. He became professional. Good for him.
I guess if his NFL career don't work out, at least he has a backup plan.
Yeah, he has a backup plan. That's plan B for him right there.
I'll tell you why that cornhole's big, man. It's all you see it on ESPN all the damn time anymore.
That's one sport I can't get into. I played it at my fiance's family's house because they have the boards for it.
Yeah, we played at like cookouts and stuff.
So we played it in the street and it was fun.
It's a good cookout game. It's a great cookout game because you only need one hand. You can have a beer in the other hand.
Right. It's fun to play, but to watch it, I don't think I could do that. I think you're torturing yourself if you, are willing to sit through that, But I know there's people out there that like.
Yeah, I can't. I wouldn't sit and watch it, but I'm also the type of person that I'll sit and watch Texas Hold'em poker. I watch the World Series of Poker almost every year. I love watching it. But the cornhole, I like playing it, but I can't get into watching it on TV.
Right. But I didn't hear about too many sports reports today because honestly, I just didn't really pay attention to the laptop. I wasn't on the computer really today. I wasn't really, checking out the news in the sports world. More or less of me, stepping away from sports for one day because I know baseball's coming back tomorrow. But I've been, kind of tuning into some stuff towards the night, and I've been reading on the Athletic and stuff this evening, but I haven't done too much reading or research today on sports. Not like I usually do, and usually for me, as you know, that's an everyday thing.
Yeah, I didn't watch as much today either as I usually do, but for one, there wasn't a whole lot on. And then two, I had some other things I needed to get done working on show-wise that didn't involve being on the computer and stuff like that. So I've been working on getting some stuff set up for next week and trying to get it set up so we can do a couple. We might be doing a couple shows live from the casino.
Okay, cool.
I was working on a lot of the paperwork and stuff, trying to get that stuff set up.
Nice.
So I didn't pay much attention to the TV today.
I would like the podcast from a bar. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. We're going to be at a fair on Saturday.
Podcasting?
We're going to be live streaming a pro wrestling show.
Okay,
doing live commentary.
Cool. That's awesome.
Then we do that. I mean, we have 3 weekends out of July. We've been at wrestling shows, and we already got we already got 2 or 3 scheduled for next month as well.
That's some
staying busy.
That's some cool stuff.
Staying busy. We've even done a couple car shows. We done a car show a couple weekends ago. They want us back, so we'll probably, and we might be doing a demolition derby here coming up soon.
What?
I had a lady contact me about that, so we'll come do it.
You're gonna be a busy man.
Yeah, we'll come do a demolition derby. That'd be fun. Well, I'm excited for baseball tomorrow, even though my Reds don't play till Friday.
Oh yeah.
But you have the Yankees and Astros and doubleheader tomorrow. That should be a good to watch. And you have
It's
Dodgers and
always
Giants.
fun to see the Astros and the Yankees go at it, and then the Dodgers and the Giants. It's
Yep.
going to be a fun
They
series.
close it out tomorrow night.
Yeah.
6 games tomorrow.
Oh, I'll be watching. Trust me.
And then Friday comes back with the full slate of
I got
baseball.
somewhere to go tomorrow afternoon, so I won't see all the games, but I'll see the Dodger game in the evening.
Yeah, I'll be watching the first Yankee game. It starts like at 1 o'clock my time. So I'll be watching.
I might be out. I think I'm gonna be out somewhere at that time, so I might miss that one.
I'll watch it while we're doing the afternoon show.
Okay. Or is that 10 o'clock my time?
Yeah, it'd be 10 o'clock your time.
Okay, I might catch that one, but if it's like 1 my time, I might be gone.
I think the second game starts at 7 our time, so it'd be like at 4 o'clock your time.
I might be. I don't know. I don't even know. I know I got something planned tomorrow. That I got to do some stuff tomorrow, and then I'll definitely be back for the Dodger game
though. You gonna be on the afternoon show tomorrow?
I'll try to make it. I got a busy, hectic morning. So we'll see. I'll let you know. I'll probably let you know by the morning what my schedule's looking like.
He said, "Eddie, dang, I gotta catch the replay."
Oh, of the show. What's up, Eddie?
What's up, Eddie? Yeah, bro. Thanks. We appreciate you joining. Thanks for going. We appreciate you going back and watching the replay as well. I was gonna ask you, Jonathan. I saw earlier you were watching our show from earlier this week. What did you think of it?
I thought it was really, really good. You know, people think it's weird that I watch myself. The reason I do that, and the reason I watch shows over and over, for one, I like to listen to the show in its entirety because I want to see how we sounded, how our co-host did, and then sometimes by rewatching the show, I share it. I share the content with other people so they know who the hosts are, and they'll get more familiar with the show if they haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I also like to rewatch the show because I want to see what I can do better as a podcaster, because I never rest on my laurels. I'm not the type that rests on my laurels. I continue to put in the work and see what I can do to get better, because there's always room for improvement. You know, you can always grow in this business, and you're never good enough. You're never ever good enough. So you can always do better. And that's what I'm always looking for in my content. I'm always looking for ways to be better. And I know I can be better on Friday's show when we come back on Friday. Yeah. I know I can be better than I was today.
Yeah, you can't. Well, if you don't know what you need to improve on, you can't improve. That's the way I've always looked at it. But I mean, I do the same thing. I try to watch as much back as I can.
Oh yeah.
I haven't watched the last show all completely. I watched some of it, and what I watched, I really enjoyed. I thought it was real good. I haven't got to watch all of it back yet. But
I do the same with my articles too. I read them.
Yep.
I read them. Sometimes I read them over and over and over and over again just to look for errors or to see what I can do better.
Oh yeah, that's the only way you can improve.
Right.
Can't get complacent.
No, you can't. You can't,
especially in this business
either. Right, and you can't have fear either, because that's the problem too in this business. A lot of people are afraid to stare into a camera and talk. Just talk. Just be yourself. Just do the show. Be the best that you can be. And what I'm learning each day is that not everyone's gonna like you, no matter what.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could try to make the show as perfect. And see, that was another problem with me. I always try to be a perfectionist. And, nothing is ever perfect. And you can't always, be perfect all the time. And you're not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to say words wrong. You're going to utter words wrong. You're going to say the wrong thing sometimes. but you can't let that hold you back. You got to keep pushing to get better. And if you're gonna be if you're gonna have fear, that's gonna hold you back. And I used to have fear during these shows. I used to put them off because I was so scared to do them. But you can't be scared. You got to have confidence in yourself. You got to know your limitations, and you got to realize that you are capable of doing anything you want to do in life if you just put your mind to it and if you continue to work. Don't worry about the negative opinions of others. They don't define your character. You define who you are as a person and who you want to be. And the better off you understand that, the better off you'll be.
Yep. I remember when I first started this, it was a little bit, it was weird hearing yourself in the headphones and seeing yourself on there. But now, there's a lot of times I get to talking and I forget that I'm even live. It's just having a conversation.
Yeah, and sometimes you gotta pretend like the camera's not on, because I feel as if when you're not on camera, you're different, right? When you talk, because yes, you're trying to sound
more relaxed.
Perfect. Yeah, you're more relaxed when you're not on camera, because you don't have to sound a certain way. You could just, okay, I'm good. You could just have a regular conversation as if you're in high school or at the doctor's office, or maybe in a grocery store, or maybe just talking to your buddy in the driveway or your neighbor or something. But when you get in front of that camera, you kind of have that stage fright, or you kind of tense up a bit, and you don't feel like yourself because you're trying too hard to please other people. See, that's the thing. You're trying so hard to please everybody else and sound so perfect for that person, but just don't do that. Just be yourself.
Thanks, Eddie. Eddie says y'all make a good team.
Thanks, Eddie.
These episodes flow super smooth. What wise words? Oh yeah, I think we make a good team too. I think since we've been doing these episodes together, it's been going good, and
yeah,
I enjoy it. That's why I always, hey, are you coming on? Because I enjoy having you on.
I enjoy being with you. It's a lot of fun.
So I think we have some good conversations. So I look forward to it. I know be looking toward Friday night.
Also, the key with podcasting too is preparation. You can never do enough preparation.
Nope.
The more preparation you do, the smoother the show will be, and the better you will sound, because you want to know what you're talking about.
And you could write down another thing I've learned. You could write down all the notes and topics that you can think of.
Right.
And you'll have like 2 pages of stuff, and you'll go through it a lot faster than what you think. And you're like, oh, well, now what the hell are we going to talk about now?
Yeah, that too. And then sometimes you write things down that you want to say, but you forget to say them, because you was talking about the topic.
Yeah.
But you said something totally different that you didn't write down. So that happens too.
Yep.
But it's a lot of fun. You got to put a lot into it.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy the grind of getting ready for every day, but also like I've made a lot of met a lot of new people and made some new friends by doing the podcasting. So that's
I'm here. Like, for instance, you as my new friend. It's a lot of
you can meet a lot of new people by doing it as well. That's another positive.
You can. And the whole goal of me doing this is because, 1, I have a passion for it. 2, this is what I want to do for a career. But more importantly, what I want people to realize is that all the sports fans that's watching this, I do this for you. I do this for the sports fan. I like to interact and engage with the sports fan. So I do this for the sports fan, and it's always a pleasure to be able to use my gift and my sports knowledge and my voice to share with all of you.
Yeah, that's why it's so awesome when people are in the chat making comments. Right. I love when we're getting feedback and stuff.
And remember this too. Don't only embrace the positive comments, embrace the negative.
All of them. Yep.
Because the negative comments, that could be used for motivation.
Yep.
not only can it be used for motivation, it can even help you get better with constructive criticism, and it can help you become a better podcaster yourself. So sometimes the trolling and the negative comments
Sometimes you need it.
are
You
good
need
things.
some of that
Right.
stuff.
Right. You need some of that stuff. And sometimes that stuff humbles you as well.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
you know,
Hey, everybody can start feeling themselves sometimes. Sometimes you
right,
need.
right. And
Sometimes
right.
you need.
Right. And
Sometimes you
sometimes,
need knocked on that head and be like,
yeah,
"Oh, you take a step
yeah,
back."
it humbles you. And sometimes the negative comments too um means you're doing something right. Because if people are going to use their energy and their time to comment, that means they're paying attention to you.
Yep. Exactly, Eddie. You don't. That's how. When I was growing up wrestling, that's what we always said. You don't lose, you learn.
Right.
Because if you do lose a match, there's something you can learn out of that you
Right.
can use to make yourself better. Just like you have a, if you have a bad show and you think after all that was terrible, or you're getting some comments telling you you're terrible. Well,
Right.
learn from that, and then you'll get better.
Yeah, and I used to be sensitive to all that stuff. I used to be sensitive to trolling. But I've learned to not only block it out, but listen to it too, but don't take it personal.
Yeah, that's the thing in this. You can't take it personal. You take it personal, you'll let it eat you up.
Right. And that's what I used to do. I used to let it consume me. I used to take it personal. Now just let it roll off my back like a duck does in the pond, and just move on with my day, and I continue to do what I love to do.
Just have fun with it.
Yep.
If you're
And
having
that's what
fun,
I
if
do.
you're having fun, you're going to be in a better mood. Everything's going to be better.
And then I got a great support system with all you guys too, as well. So it balances itself out.
Well, that's what I was telling Rob earlier. So I love it because I met all you guys on this ASAP. Well,
And even
I'm home alone. I'm
right,
home alone a lot. You know what I mean? Because
right,
with my situation, she's gone at work, so this is a way
right.
for I have people to talk to and stuff. So it's always a good
Always
time. And yeah, even the people in the comment section.
Yeah, even the people in the comment section, like Eddie, for instance, it's always nice to be able to engage with the sports fan. You
Yeah,
know,
Eddie, Damien's always. I
Damien's always
appreciate Damien all the support he gives us. It's
yeah,
whether it's ASAP or not, you always see him in the comments.
and that's what we gotta realize too, Chris. They don't have to do that.
Yeah,
They don't have to take the time out of their night to listen to us, but they choose to because they like our content, they like what we're producing, and I thank them for that. I really appreciate
yep.
everyone that takes the time out of their night to watch, because we're here to do our best to entertain and share our thoughts about sports. So thank you guys so much. That's humbling.
Oh yeah, it is. That's what I always say. Hey, if it wasn't for the fans,
Yep.
nobody would be doing what we do.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it wasn't nobody to listen to us,
Right.
wouldn't be no reason to do it.
Same for me and my education job. If there was no students there, I wouldn't have a job.
Yep.
You know.
Oh yeah. Well, before we get out of here, you have anything else? Any final thoughts or anything?
Tonight's graphic tee. Since I'm a graphic tee guy, I'm gonna show off my other graphic tee. It is Star Wars, and it's Darth Vader, as you guys can see, but it's the Funko Pop of Darth Vader,
Okay.
and it says, "I'm your father. I am your father."
I'm actually wearing a pro wrestling shirt.
Oh, nice.
Jordan James.
Oh, nice. I saw Jordan at the top, and I was wondering if it was Michael Jordan.
No,
But
Jordan
I
James.
remember you saying you hated Michael Jordan, so I was like, no, he wouldn't wear him.
He's an independent wrestler here in Indiana.
Nice.
He's on a lot of the shows that we've live streamed.
Nice.
And I got one of his shirts to help support him because he's one of my favorites.
Okay, cool.
And he supported us a bunch. Like
okay,
he wears our shirt. He's wore our shirt out to the ring, I think, like 4 or 5 different times.
Returning a favor. That's a nice
stuff. So I was like, yep.
So cool.
So I got his shirt and I wear it on the show sometimes, show my support for him. Yeah. All right. But Yeah. Well, I guess that's all for tonight, and we will see you guys Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, I'll be starting the sports betting show back up since baseball is starting back up. So tomorrow at 3 p.m. be live with the Easy Money and Sports Betting Show. You can find that at Gonzo Sports Room or at the ASAP Sports Network. And then we'll be 1 o'clock. I'm live on the ASAP Sports Network. So you'll be able to find me a lot of places tomorrow. You can find Jonathan all over the ASAP Sports Network as well.
Well, and YouTube.
Yep. And you can find Jonathan on the Gonzo Sports Room on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
And you can find me on my fan page on
Yep.
Facebook as well, The Sports Judge.
And if you like pro wrestling, go check out the Gonzo Sports Room YouTube page. We have I think we're up to 25 events that we've live streamed and done live commentary for. WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi's on one of the shows. The Rock and Roll Express is on one of the shows. The Pope Elijah Burke. I'm trying to think who else. Oh, Epico and Primo, Carlito. A lot of former WWE guys have been on some of them shows. So go if you're a pro wrestling fan, go check that out. I'll be at a show here in like 2 weeks that the Pope Elijah Burke will be at. So if everything goes right, might be able to get an interview with him. Last time I was able to get a picture with him and talk to him for about an hour. So that was pretty cool hanging out.
That's cool.
I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, if you're a pro wrestling fan, go check out that stuff. We also cover UFC. If it's just about any sport, I'm going to start trying to get more into soccer so I can start covering that more, especially for the sports betting, because a lot of people bet on soccer and people comment on there about soccer games. I'm like, I'm not the guy you want to give you advice about betting on soccer. I'm sorry, but sometimes you guys got to say, hey, I'm not the guy you want for that.
Right.
Now, if you want to listen to me on baseball, I do good on baseball and basketball and football, but soccer, I don't do enough to be telling somebody to bet on it. So I'm not even going to try until I learn. Even with hockey, I don't give out many hockey picks for that same reason, because I'm watching more hockey now than I used to. But until I get more familiar with it, it's like, yeah, I shouldn't be giving people advice on what to spend their money on. But, all right, we will see you guys Friday night. Hopefully, we'll see you guys tomorrow on some of the other shows. Have a good night. Stay safe.
All right, everyone.